episode 31 of Comics and Us. I'm TJ.
And I'm Chris.
And I'm Lumpy.
And it's the review show that reviews comics chronologically, kind of. And that's how you do an intro.
Now, that's pretty much what I did.
That's, not mess up the words or try to remember what you're trying to say.
I think my way was better.
Uh-huh.
I think I miss a word or something? I
know. I don't even. He said we both missed the same word or something.
Yeah, after it took you like 30 seconds to get through the entire intro.
What was the word we missed? Chronologically?
No, review.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is the review show that reviews.
Oh, well, if you say review, you're being redundant. You don't need to be redundant. You say this is a review show. It does comics.
The review show is the review. It's the show. It explains the show. That reviews, that's the verb. The reviews is the verb.
Next week, me and Uncle Chris are doing it without you, and we're just going to review your intro.
Yeah, over and over again. We're going to go word by word for your intro.
I can't even get you two to come on regularly. What are you talking about? There's no way you're going to correspond each other.
Yeah, well, next week you're not invited.
There is a 0% chance that we will do one without you.
Yeah, exactly. If I didn't program this entire show, it wouldn't happen.
Listen, if you didn't text me today, I didn't know it was even record night.
Well, that's why I texted at noon. I knew it.
I read the rest of this comic about an hour ago. So
I read the whole comic about an hour ago.
Anyway, let's continue to talk about how bad Spawn is.
Well, considering that I quit reading this comic halfway through because I just couldn't stand it.
What do you mean halfway? How did you know you were halfway through? I didn't know what the heck was going on until I got it 3/4 of the way through.
I was on page...
I swear they were just saying random things at one point.
Sometimes they weren't even words. Sometimes they didn't even make words. And I got to page 23 and I was like, my head actually hurts reading this.
Yeah, I couldn't follow it.
No.
Once you get to where they're explaining it, but they need a narrator on the first 8 pages of this thing.
There is a narrator.
Well, what the hell is he talking about? Yeah, but he's saying lines and stuff.
When I finally picked it back up and they explain exactly what's going on, I realized that first 23 pages was supposed to be a jumble. I get it now.
Yeah,
but getting through the first 25 pages, it was damn near impossible.
I guess we should tell them what we're talking about, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Why tell them? Because the comic doesn't tell you what you're doing. Not until 25 pages in. So let's get to a half hour here, and then we'll tell them what we're actually talking about.
Well, to be fair, it only took me about 10 minutes to get that far, not a half hour.
Yeah, well, it took me 2 weeks to read this. So.
Well, considering we just started reading it last week, I don't know how you went back in time and knew that I was telling you this.
That's how bad it was. You had to go back in time.
The comic made me go backwards.
Anyway, we're doing a Superman story here called Emperor Joker. Not the whole story arc, because then it would probably make a lot more sense.
Yes.
We're just doing the actual Emperor Joker. The title of it is The Reign of Emperor Joker, Part 1 of 5. And the name of the specific one is called It's a Joker World, Baby, We Just Live in It. So, this is a story that's taking place in the middle of a story arc, pretty much in the first part of a 5-part within the middle of that story arc.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's the first one of the story arc, but it's not the beginning of the story.
It is not.
No.
But
there's so much going on that I don't... So just a little bit of reference. I don't know if you two have ever read any Superman comics at all. I know not a single person in this except for Joker and Robin, I think, was in it for a second.
No, you're wrong, because you know some of them, but they don't look like them themselves. That's the problem.
Oh, is that what? Yeah, I was so confused. This one threw me through a loop.
Wonder Woman's in this, Aquaman's in this, but they're wacky.
But even that, I don't know any Wonder Woman or Aquaman.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, you would recognize them if they were...
You're right, I would at least know who they are by looking at them, but it's not that in this one.
No.
Anyway, let me get through the credits because there's a shitload of people who worked on this.
Okay.
It released in October 2000. The executive editor was Mark Carlin. The cover artist was drawn by 4 different people, apparently. Ed McGuinness, Ken Smith, Tanya Hori, and Richard Horry. I guess they're related. The writers were Joe Kelly and Joseph Loeb. Pencilers Duncan Rouleau, Todd Note, Carlo Barberic, Scott McDaniels. Inkers Mario Acqueza, Jamie Mendoza, Richard Bunk. Colorist Tanya Horry and Richard Horry. Letterers Richard Starkins, and the editors were Marie McTeague and Eddie Berganza.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a lot of people involved in it.
Yeah.
And you could tell.
You can tell.
All right. So, unlike Lumpy and Uncle Chris over there, I didn't choose this because of any nostalgia or, because I liked it or anything. I had never read this going into this. I saw one page of this book, and that's why I decided to do it.
It does kind of bring things together, your one panel, so.
And that's the only reason why I decided to do this.
When I got there, I got it.
Yeah.
Before that, I was like,
what is he doing?
What is going on? I literally at one point thought I was going insane and started to reread the pages.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I'm like, am I not following this? Is there something wrong with me?
I'm not joking. It really did. Like, I was like, something's wrong. What am I doing here? And I had to go back. But no, it wasn't me.
The Joker got you too.
Yeah,
but he did.
I was confused. I thought they were just writing random things on some of these pages.
Later on in the book, I will say now that I did appreciate it because I got the point. It was supposed to mess your head up. It was the whole point in this was it was supposed to be like so off the wall. But when you just pick up a comic like this, it was out there.
I think if I was reading the full run and got to this, I think I would have enjoyed it much more. Like I really would have been. It wouldn't have freaked me out as much.
No, but it freaked me out.
Yeah, well, that was kind of the idea. I wanted to go into this like this, so.
But you got it.
So
I like the cover.
Yeah, the cover is pretty cool. The cover is pretty much, it looks like a trading card with the Joker on one side and mix up Pitts like on the bottom.
I corrected you last week when we were talking about this off air, and in the old Justice League cartoons they say Mitzoflick, but I don't think that's right. I think that the people who made that Hanna-Barbera cartoon didn't know how to say it either. Because then I started looking into it, and in the newer cartoons it says like Mitzopitlik or something like that.
Right. I don't know. It's a stupid name.
It is a dumb name. Yeah.
When I read it, I just read MXYZ.
Well, I think they do call him Mixie as for short, so it makes sense.
Okay.
Well, Joker shortens everybody's name, so.
Well, no, I think Superman even calls him Mixie at some certain points because he is a Superman villain.
So did you ever read any Superman comics? Like, were you guys, either one of you, like, do you like Superman or?
I like Superman.
I like Superman. The Chronicles that I actually started reading with Batman that led me to this podcast, I have the actual Chronicles for Superman too, and I read the first couple.
So are they drawn this way?
Oh, no. This is 90s, late 90s, 2000 art.
Okay. It's very cartoon. Actually, honestly, it reminds me a little bit of Spawn, the way it's drawn. It's 90s cartoon. This is just how the 90s drew things back then. Right.
It's weird. It reminds me of a small child's cartoon. It bothered me. I actually don't like it at all.
Really?
I don't know why. The artwork, it really bothered me.
The artwork resembles a lot of Todd McFarlane's stuff. Like it's the way it's laid out and stuff like that.
It also resembles the animated TV show.
It does. It does resemble a little bit. It's a little more intricately drawn, I guess you would say, but it does resemble it a lot.
I don't know. For some reason, for me, like the pages where it's Joker and like his people don't bother me as much as like the heroes that are drawn.
Well, this is what you don't figure out until the end of the comic. They're supposed to be crazy.
And yeah, you're right. I just, for some reason, I was like, I just didn't, like, especially, I think it's Superboy. He has, like, the backwards S on his shirt or whatever. I hate the way he's drawn. I didn't
even like the way Superman's face was drawn in this, to be honest with you. I looked at him like
fat.
That. It doesn't look like Superman.
Fat Elvis. It doesn't look like Superman.
Well, but there's a lot
the Joker panels are good.
There's a lot of backstory going into this.
Right. Now, TJ, is this a Superman run? Is this like part of a Superman run?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. All right.
This is a Superman story. I think it's a total of, I want to say 10 issues, but it might be 15.
Oh, wow.
That's a long story, because it starts out with all the superheroes being locked in Arkham.
Okay, well, it says Superman Arkham is that the name of the whole entire run, Superman Arkham?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, actually. But before we jump into the comic I'm just going to tell you the premise. The premise is the Joker tricked Mxyzptlk to give him his powers. So he's got 99.9% of Mxyzptlk powers. Now,
from what I know from this guy, his powers were just he would play like jokes on people. I didn't know he could change reality.
Yeah, that's what the fifth dimension imp does.
Okay, when he was in the old cartoons and comic books, he'd just show up and do some dumb crap, and then they'd say his name backwards and he would disappear.
No, he's one of the most powerful beings in the DC universe.
Wow. So, and it's crazy because I don't know anything about him, but they do actually, that's one of the things they do explain in this, kind of like everybody kind of thinks the same. Like, I thought you just did dumb tricks and went away.
Right.
And then they kind of go into it like, no, I'm one of the most powerful people in the world, but I know how to control my power. And this guy who took my power has no idea what he can actually do and what he's
a
doing.
psychopath.
Like it's really bad. This is horrible. So, which I thought was cool. That was a neat twist in it.
Do you know who Batmite is, Uncle Chris?
Yes, I have seen Batmite.
Batmite is also a fifth-dimensional imp.
He is. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
see, I only know Batmite. I don't know the whole story. I remember him from the animated series. One of the animated series he was in.
And there's different comics where Mixie and Batmite are fighting over whose hero is better, Batman or Superman.
That's funny.
So, well, I did want to mention, because according to the comic that I have, that this was $3.50 in the America and $5.50 in Canada.
Wow, $2 more in Canada this time.
It is a bigger book, though.
Yeah, but I mean, 10 cents more from where we're at in our comics.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, actually, it's only 5 cents, by the way.
Oh, okay, 5 cents.
It was 10 cents, 50 cents.
What was I going to say? Oh, just so you know, this is a hiatus episode. I don't think we talked about that in the beginning.
No, we went on a different ramble. This is actually going to be the last hiatus episode. We get back to Detective Comics on
season
probably not
proper.
Right? Yeah, this is probably not next week, but whenever.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yes, we will.
All right, should we finally start the comic?
Yeah, go for it.
So, we open up with
Bucky O'Hare.
Right, look at that first panel. This is right how it takes off. 2 bunny rabbits in police uniforms shooting guns.
And then there's a taxi cab. Taxi cabs are flying.
And all the guys in suits look identical. They're exactly the same.
And then look at this page. Doesn't this look like a Spawn page?
I didn't get Spawn feel out of this.
I feel like it does.
No, but who knows?
Now the next page I could see a little bit. It's a little more cartoony, but I could get a little bit out of it in that one.
Okay, so we were talking about being confused. This is how this first page starts. Ladies and gentlemen, hobos and tramps, cross-eyed mosquitoes and bow-legged ants, I come before you and stand behind you. I tell you a story about nothing I know nothing about. Like, that told me nothing.
Well, the Joker's the one telling you.
Yeah, I know. And this goes on and on and on. And I'm like, I am crazy.
It was okay when the Violator did it, though.
No, the Violator he was telling you what he was going to do to you. The Violator was perfect.
And so is the Joker. He's just telling you his story.
That's not a story. He's saying random things.
And that's what the Violator did.
No, the Violator was saying, I will rip your guts out, and I'll tear your head off, and I'll do that. He's saying mosquitoes and ants, and I know nothing about this. And he even says, I'll come before you to stand behind you. I don't even know what that means.
That's the Joker. You're not supposed to.
I realized that as I got to where, the story starts, actually.
Yeah, well, it gets weirder on the next page.
There is a narration going over all the crazy stuff that's happening. There's a robot horse? Is that what I'm seeing?
I think it's a robot horse.
Or it's a horse with headphones on.
And then there's a bunch of kids with, pumpkin bombs?
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
And it's like raining cats and dogs or something. There's cats and stuff flying out of the air. I don't know.
Yeah, they might be robot cats.
No, because one of the shadows has shoes.
Yeah, well, that's a kid, but above him... Oh, maybe that's another kid.
Yeah, you're right. I think it is.
I think those are kids blowing up.
And these panels are drawn, like, raised above the background. Like, they're on their own above the background.
Yes,
and in the background, there's happy faces and skeletons.
They actually look like those yellow balls that they paint the faces on. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Almost like the Walmart ball.
Right, it does. Right. It looks like the Walmart ball with bones behind it.
Yeah. But they're skeletons. If you look, there's skulls, too.
There are skulls as well.
But they're all smiling.
The skulls are just teeth.
It's weird.
So then we get a 2-page spread of the city with the Joker narrating, and shows Commissioner Gordon in the background. I think that's Batgirl up there. And I'm not sure who that is. Looks like Spectre, but I'm not sure.
Who, the one holding the sign that says, "The end is my rear"?
Yes.
Like, I'm just like, it's something still
again,
crazy.
We jumped into this, and these are the things. I'm like, there's a roller coaster going around the city. The thing says it's Joker's world, and baby, we just live in it. I have no idea what's going on.
And there's the building in the shape of the Joker's face.
Yeah, and I didn't even notice that. You're right.
Yeah, it's his Joker's
face. I do have to give this comic book credit. At the very end of this page on the right corner, it says, this story takes place right after Action Comics number 769. So get on that. Get on it, Mr. J. So Joker is telling you, get back and read out of the comic or you're going to be lost. It's your fault.
and it was my fault, and I was lost.
Yeah.
Do you see the Bond TM right there?
Yes.
That's actually the Daily Planet.
Oh, okay.
Because you know how it has the globe, the world globe on the top of it?
Right.
But it has an Acme bomb on it now.
So that tells you this is Metropolis.
Okay.
All right.
And then you missed the octopus tentacle that's around the right side of the page too, whatever that is.
Oh, I don't even see it. Oh, okay, there it goes.
Yeah, either that or it's SpaghettiOs in I don't know what it is.
Or Cheerios.
Yeah, I'm going to the next page.
Well, the next page is a repeat of the other two.
Yeah, why? That's another thing that freaked. Why are they doing that?
I don't know if that's the book or if that was the person who scanned it.
Yeah,
okay.
I agree, because I kept flipping through, and I was like, wait a minute. Is it on purpose? Or
maybe they did it
so you could see it?
Yeah, maybe
right.
I don't know. But
I think they did it so you could see the spread page, and now you can see them separated.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, it does say it's 38 pages or something, and that's how long the comic is, so.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's the only time they repeat it, though. So we truly open up with the Joker sitting on the throne and a bunch of bad guys sitting around him. He's in the carnival or something.
I didn't know everybody.
I didn't know everybody either. But there's obviously Joker.
Bizarro. I see Bizarro up there above Joker's head.
Bizarro. The guy next to him is called Enigma, and I thought it was Riddler, but I don't think it is.
Well, yeah, it wasn't. I don't know. The movies get confusing, and is that who it is? I don't know.
Yeah, I think Enigma is someone different. But there's there's Harley down here.
Right. Now, the
Joker
Jester
and Harley
guy?
are the only ones I know.
Huh?
The Jester guy, if you read through it, is Lex Luthor?
Yes.
Okay.
You know who Lex Luthor is, Lump?
Not really.
You don't. Everybody knows who Lex Luthor is. He's Superman's arch villain.
I was gonna say I know the name, but I don't. He's Superman's what?
Arch villain.
You really don't know Superman, do you?
I don't know Superman at all.
How do you even get to your age without hearing, the basic story of Superman? He's an alien, right? He's not from this planet, right?
I know that. I know that kryptonite is the one thing. Like, I know, but I don't know his storyline. I can't really tell you. I never watched any of the shows.
Wow.
I don't.
But you've seen the movie, right?
No.
You never saw Superman?
If I did, it was a long time ago, but I don't think I ever watched it.
Wow. There's like 7 Superman movies.
Yeah.
Well, I've never seen one. Like you guys watch Smallville. I never watched that. I don't.
Yeah, it's a TV show, but everybody knows the Christopher Reeve Superman movies from
Superman.
From
I get a lot of crap for
70s.
this. I got a lot of crap for this, but Superman 3 was my favorite.
Oh, the one with Richard Pryor?
No, that's full. Wait,
no.
Superman 2 was my favorite.
Superman 2 is the one with Zod.
Yes. People hate that one. People don't like that one. No, not the one with Richard Pryor. That was funny, but no, that's not that.
That's Superman 3.
That's okay. So it's 2. 2 is my favorite. The one with Zod.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, really, people don't. I have to rewatch that. I don't remember why people wouldn't like that one. I thought that was one of the ones people did like.
Well, we talked about it, and a lot of people came out and said that they didn't like it on the other podcast. I don't know why. I have no idea why, but
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You see Enigma up in the corner next to Bizarro?
Yeah.
I see the guy you talk about with the question mark.
Is that Batman behind him?
Is it Batman or Bat Hound or somebody with a mustache? I'm not sure.
It's somebody from the Bat storyline because it's definitely a Bat mask.
Yeah.
Well, the spoilers. Batman's not in this, and I know why he's not in this, and I'll get to it when we finish.
Oh, okay. Well, we do got a little Batman toy on the bottom here too.
Yeah, I actually didn't even pick that up.
Yeah. There's also 3 other characters that I just don't know.
Yeah, this zombie lady with her boobies out, right?
Yeah.
And then we got somebody that says Gravedigger on his shirt.
I think that's his name. I think his name's Gravedigger.
Okay. Gravedigger Lad.
Because I heard the name Gravedigger, but...
And then I have no idea what that is back there. Is that a Mohawk guy with a a mask on his face?
White mask on?
Yeah.
The picture itself is cool.
It's
not a bad picture.
It's detailed. It's actually a neat picture. It's one of the better spreads, I think, in this book. But I don't know anything. I can't really. Other than Joker and Harley.
So what's he talking about, TJ?
So he's talking about how in the beginning, he's doing things differently than how God did it and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then Lex is kind of arguing with him.
Is he? Because he says great green gobs of greasy grimy gopher guts. That's what he says. I'm not sure he's arguing with him.
Not yet, he's not arguing.
Okay.
He argues with him later.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's talking about either. I know the rhyme, but I don't know why he's saying it.
Anyway, everything's just nuts. So after this giant page, we go into space where we find out that the Earth is now a shape of a cube with the Joker's face on it.
Yeah.
And this is where we realize this is Superman's in a space station with Mitchell Picklick and Steel.
Is that supposed to be Steel? Okay.
That's Steel. Do you know who Steel is, Lump?
Nope.
You don't know who the Shaquille O'Neal Steel?
Not even a little bit. Had no idea when I was reading this. I had assumed he was some kind of alter ego of Superman.
When Superman was dead, listen, I didn't read this one, but when Superman was dead, I believe they brought out 4 new Supermans, right, TJ?
Yes, that's what I was going to get to. This is still in the aftermath of all that. So when Doomsday killed Superman, Steel, Superboy, who else was it? Cyborg Superman.
Right.
And I think Supergirl all stepped up to be Superman. Supergirl actually turned out to be a shapeshifter, not even a Kryptonian.
Oh, okay.
Because she started dating Lex Luthor at one point.
Wow.
So I don't think that's it. But eventually Superman wasn't obviously dead. He was in a comatose or whatever. So when he woke up, he didn't put on the colors. He decided to wear this black suit.
Oh, okay. So this is right after that?
No, I think he was in the suit for a while.
Oh, okay.
And I think this is the storyline that gets him back in the red, white, and blue.
Oh.
Yeah. Just a quick correction here. I recently read all 50 comics of the Death of Superman, and Supergirl was involved with it, but she wasn't a major part. The 4th Superman was actually the Eradicator, or the last son of Krypton. Also, Superman kind of immediately right after the Death of Superman storyline, where he actually gets revived, almost immediately goes back into the red, white, and blue. This story takes place well after that, so he was in the colors for a bit. Almost immediately from that point. Just wanted to correct myself so people don't think, that I don't know what I'm talking about. And so, yeah, these 3 are in space, and they're talking about, how the Joker's insane and what they're going to do to stop them. And they're pretty much just explaining what's going on, which I already kind of explained. So
yeah, there's a bubble in here that isn't even in words.
Nope, it's
alien talking. Yeah.
What?
There's words, and then the 5th bubble down, I don't even know what that's supposed to be.
Because Joker says in the previous one, well, technically, I could just reinvent the alphabet. And then he does that.
And then it does that.
And he says, or not. It's just the Joker being the Joker.
Okay.
As he continues to narrate through everything.
Yeah.
But they're trying to figure out what to do, and Mxyzptlk still being Mxyzptlk. He actually restored Superman's, because everyone's mind got altered. They all think Joker's the Emperor, and all the heroes are bad guys. But Mxyzptlk restored Superman and Steel's memory. So they...
How do you know that? How do you know that?
They explain it.
When? When did they explain that?
Because I never got that.
No. I had no idea why Superman didn't know why it wasn't in.
I assumed that they were just not on the planet or something when it happened, and that's why they weren't changed. That was my assumption. I never caught that part.
Mxyzptlk says it somewhere in this comic that he restored Superman's memories.
Okay, well I missed it.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, in this first thing, it says, "My memories may still be a little foggy, Mxyzptlk."
Yeah, I see that, but I mean, I didn't know why.
Yeah, and Mxyzptlk explains it somewhere. I don't remember because I read it in this comic. That's how I know.
Okay.
I didn't do any research on this story.
right.
Yeah,
You just picked the story
I guess you picked it up because I never saw that. I just assumed that for some reason these two weren't on the planet when it happened, so I just assumed it was like they weren't affected. That I have no idea.
I'll be honest though, in these first couple pages, I got so lost that I could have missed something.
I was lost.
Yeah.
But, everyone's talking. Joker's still narrating and explaining who his goons are. He's got Schism, Master of Martial Arts.
What page are you on?
The next page.
Yeah, the next page.
Okay.
He's got Scorch.
Yeah, Scorch.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yeah,
Bounty, Gorgeous Gilly.
Schism, Poisonous Ivy.
Oh, and some variations on an old theme, Poisonous Ivy. Oh, so Enigma may be the Riddler then.
He might be.
It says Enigma, Rational Man of Mystery. I don't know.
Yeah. But he said they are all variations on old themes.
Right. Gravedigger and then Bizarro, who is apparently the new Superman of the world. These are supposedly the heroes of this world.
Right.
Because Joker made it. So.
The JLA.
Yes. So on the next page, we get a character that I have no idea who he is.
What, this big robot dude?
Ignition 000? No idea where he's from, what he's doing. Anyway, he shoots Superman. What?
Here's where Mxyzptlk says, "I restored your memories, repaired your pajamas and cape, and this is the thanks I get."
Yeah. See, I told you.
I say it. Yeah, I found it.
That must have been when my brain was scrambled from the other pages.
Oh, because look at this page. It's a jumble. Like, there's a giant I guess he's a robot guy, and he's shooting
guys
somebody.
with a flag.
Yeah, there's some, but they got, like, Mike Wazowski's eye on there, and he's putting a flag
Yeah, they
up.
got, like, spacesuits, but they might be aliens.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But essentially, the gist of it is this giant robot with a gun for a face shoots the space station out of the sky.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know that was what happened.
Didn't even get that.
No.
Did not get that.
Yeah.
I see it now. I'm glad that you were explaining this because I see
now
it now.
that you're saying it, it makes a lot more sense. But when I
wish
read it,
you could have talked to me about it while I was reading it, and then come back and talk again because now I see it.
Okay. Well, as that's happening, back in Metropolis, Supergirl wakes up, and she's got wings. I don't know if that's because of Joker, if that's in the comics, or what's happening, why she is that way she is.
Yeah, but she has wings sometimes.
But I know she's not the actual Kara Danvers at this point. I think she's still that shapeshifter.
Okay.
Anyway,
She wakes up, she starts singing a song from The Sound of Music for no reason.
And then she's attacked by Joker Piranha, Flyer Joker Piranha.
This is insane. This is like Batman on an acid trip or something.
I think that's the point.
Yeah.
There's
insane.
pies falling out of the sky. Yeah. There's a train. There's a bomb. Then there's Supergirl with wings.
And a guy down the bottom.
There's flying piranhas.
What's the guy down the bottom? Like he's got
some kind of net or poison ivy on him, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's another guy who looks like he's a mummy, but it has a regular person's head. I don't really know what's happening.
And again, once we get to the spot where he explained it to you, it's different. But just reading into this, it was like, oh my god, what is going on here?
So anyway, the Joker flying piranhas are beat up by Superboy, this is Connor Kent. I believe this is the Connor Kent that is actually a clone of Superman and Lex Luthor that Lex Luthor created.
So like a baby of Superman and Lex Luthor?
Yeah, I think Lex Luthor stole Superman's DNA and created this clone.
Oh, wow.
I believe. I think that's what the Superboy is.
I don't really like him, so...
Well, Joker changed his personality in this one for sure, because he's not really like this.
How is he Kent? Like, they named him Connor Kent because he's Superman's clone?
Well, after they freed him from Lex's control, he was raised by Jonathan and Martha Kent.
Jonathan's dead already by then, isn't he?
No, not in this continuity. He got brought back.
Oh, okay.
This is after Crisis on Infinite Earth.
Wow.
I can't read Superman.
Well, no, it all gets like this in certain continuities. It gets crazy. Like, it's not just Superman.
Yeah, they reset the entire universe a few times.
Yeah, I hate to tell you this, everything in the 90s was a little wacky.
I can see that.
Well,
I'm not looking forward to it.
This was actually 2000.
Was it really?
It's October of 2000.
October 2000.
Okay. It looks like 90s artwork. That's why I thought it was 90s. I didn't even look.
Well, it's the end of the 90s, so you're close.
Yeah.
Anyway, Supergirl wants to find Superman because he can help them. Superboy agrees to it, but he really just wants to, capture Superman because he's a villain in this world.
So she's Supergirl, he's Superboy, he doesn't know her.
Right.
And he thinks she's hitting on him.
Right. I think it's because his memories are altered and hers is not because of who she is.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So
because she's a shapeshifter.
Yes, I believe. I'm basically going on the knowledge that I have of this time period and just kind of extrapolating from that.
Right. Do not take anything we say especially on these ones as truth. Go figure it out if you really want to know.
Yeah. So one of the things that bothered me about this comic, and I don't know if you guys saw the same, but like I look at this page with Superboy and Supergirl. And it looks like, it almost looks like Japanimation to me. It looks like very cartoon animated drawing. And then when I go to the next page, it's back to comic book drawing to me. Like, I don't know. Just for me, that's the way it feels.
I think the difference is these characters are brighter.
Yeah, that's true. And the next page is really Joker's people and they're darker. So
darker, yeah.
That's true.
I think it was because they're using brighter colors. It's accentuating more.
Yeah, well, and it did. It made a difference for me.
I don't know. I didn't have a problem with the art. Honestly, I was used to it.
Yeah, I definitely felt like 90s, but I don't mind it. I like it.
So we go back to Joker. I don't know what he's talking about.
Is that Darkseid at the top of the page?
No, that's Joker.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
It is. I see it now. I see his green hair and stuff. But
yeah.
And he's
I had
talking,
no idea that was him.
And he's talking to his goons
And did Harley Quinn get breast implants for this comic book? Because she doesn't look like regular Harley Quinn.
Oh, really? So in the other comics, she's not like that?
No, not as...
Well,
I don't know.
Harley is kind of buxom in the newer comics.
Is she?
Yeah, because I don't think they ever accentuate it because she's usually in that full jester outfit.
I was going to say, that's how I know her, is in the full jester outfit.
I'm also very used to her from the cartoon, too, and they didn't go all nuts in the cartoon like they do in the comic. Yeah.
No, in the cartoon, she's more bendy, like...
And
to be
flat. And to be fair, Joker did recreate this world. She is his girlfriend.
Any way he wants, you're right.
True.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
So, who knows?
Right.
But, they're talking about something or another. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, good luck.
No, I just want to read it.
Read Bizarro's, because I have no idea what he's saying. It's like one word.
When Superman not escape, other villains not escape, and now Arkham...
good villain.
No have good
outside.
Villain
Arkham have no good villain outside, yes.
Now, I realize he talks fun. He does have an odd way of speaking.
You're lucky he's not talking backwards.
Right. He does have an odd way of speaking, but that was crazy, and I already don't know what's going on, and I'm trying to read him, and I'm like, oh god, I have no idea what he's saying.
So what's going on here is they're explaining to Joker that Superman's no longer in Arkham Asylum, so, they should do something, and now that he's out, he might ruin everything.
Okay.
But then Joker kicks Harley for some reason. That's what I've been trying to figure out why.
He boots her, yeah.
I don't know. She must have said something.
Yeah, I don't know what she says.
Anyway, in one panel, they have a tiny Two-Face. Harley has a tiny Two-Face in her hand.
Yeah, like a doll.
Well, no, it talks.
Oh, okay, so it's not a doll.
I think it's actually Two-Face.
Well, they said...
Oh, he's kicking her to tell her to go ahead because she said that you should kill a bunch more.
Oh, a bunch more of the villains he had already killed. Okay.
Then he says, make a real crisis for those infantile jerks, and kicks her, like, go for it.
Well, see, that's actually a reference. Every event that rebooted the universe is called Crisis at something. There's always a crisis, and that's what that is.
That makes sense.
Okay.
So this is where Lex starts, arguing with Joker and telling him he's being stupid, and so Joker uses his magic powers and puts like a metal plate over his face. But this is where we get to the one page that I was decided to do this for. After he does that, after he puts that metal plate over Joker's face, he says, "But you have given me something to think about, Lexi, and all that thinking makes me hungry." And then we get a full page spread.
Before we go into this, in no way do any of us, especially with what's going on in the world right now, when this is released, I have no idea what will be happening. None of us have any ill wishes towards any other ethnicities at all. Zero.
We started this podcast talking about the Chinese because they were written as like villains in the beginning of the Batman comic book.
Yes.
So now we get to this page, TJ.
So, Joker decides, you know what? I'm just gonna read it word for word what he says. Yes. And then we can explain what the picture is. He says, "Yum yum, dim sum, Chinese food made from real Chinese, all of them. I guess someone should have yelled Pekin duck." Then he burps. Okay, and then, is that the Joker still talking there?
I think so.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I guess he's talking to himself. "Okay, Joker, you've just wiped out the People's Republic of China. What are you going to do next? And the first one of you who even thinks I'm going to Happy Land gets to be dessert." So, go ahead. Who wants to explain?
So Joker ate almost the entire country of China.
Yeah, but it's got him in shadow, a skull in between chopsticks, eaten from a Chinese food takeout place.
And there are millions of skulls behind him, and China is in flames.
Right, the Chinese buildings are burning.
Yes.
Now, for what reason they would ever think to put this in there is crazy, considering the first, 10 Batman comics were anti-Chinese.
They were, and you're right. And again, it's so crazy to me because with everything going on in the world right now.
Right now, yeah.
And then you read this, this was 2000. This was 21 years ago. So, this has nothing to do with what... But it was just crazy that you still would even see this in 2000, that it would be okay to put something like this in there.
Well, that's the fact that he's a Batman villain, and the Batman comics were doing that. Well, if you listen to our first season, you'll find that out. But why did he pick China? All
60 years.
Right.
60 years before this, that was how it was. And then in 2000, they would put something like this in. And I get it, that it's just kind of the way that this comic is going. It's total chaos and it's craziness, but this was just insane to me. It was totally nuts.
I feel like it was purposely just so he could hold a Chinese food container and say he's eating all of China.
Maybe he just wasn't in the mood for Indian.
Yeah, I guess.
He doesn't like curry. He doesn't like any curry. He doesn't like curry.
I'm just thinking, if he's hungry, you want to eat the most populous people, and China has a lot of people.
Also, if you eat Chinese, you get hungry again later,
That's real.
And Chinese food's really good. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. It was just...
I do enjoy
but it was a very interesting picture.
I do enjoy that he didn't eat his Chinese food with a fork. I get chopsticks when I go to a Chinese food store myself.
He did use chopsticks.
He did use chopsticks. You get the full effect if you use the chopsticks when you eat Chinese food.
Anything else to say about the Joker's racism?
This is also the reason why we read this comic.
This is the definition of racism. He wiped out an entire country here.
Oh, yeah, it's
an
genocide.
entire race. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're right. This is. I saw this panel and I'm like, after the themes that we were doing in the first season, I had to.
Yes. Yeah.
I had to.
When we hit this panel, I understood. You showed us it before we actually read the comic, and I kind of didn't know what it, then we got here, it was like, oh my god, it really is connected for some reason 60 years later.
60 years later.
And it's in a Superman story, not a
Batman.
Not a Batman story,
right.
And it just fit completely for this hiatus thing. So that's why I wanted to do it. But anyway, I guess we should move on.
Yes.
Superman wakes up to Lois's voice.
Yeah, there's apparently, astronaut or a hero or like a pilot.
Or Iron Man?
No,
right.
She's in.
I was like, what is that?
She's in a pilot suit. She owns a multi-billion-dollar company in this version.
Yeah, but a pilot suit with like an Iron Man helmet?
It's just a helmet for the, when you get in a jet and stuff.
I guess the way they drew it and colored it, it looks very Iron Man-esque.
Look, she drives a giant robot later on.
Right.
So she pulls Steel, Mitchell Pickling, and Superman out of their crash, and then they have to go to. They're gonna go to find the rest of the heroes, essentially. And this is where we get Mitchell Pickett's backstory on everything of why he did everything.
There's not a good reason why he did it, though.
No, but he never did have a good reason.
True. He doesn't like live on Earth. He doesn't, he's got his own way of thinking, I guess.
I mean, he says he got tired of doing the same old things and he wanted to spice things up, so he went to Arkham and Joker tricked him into revealing his true name and got all of his powers.
Yeah.
And then it repeats.
Right.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's the entire story. Yeah, that's in a nutshell right there. But
I mean, it's too. Okay, I'm sorry.
He does say that he didn't know what he was doing. He thought he was giving Joker 1% of his powers.
Right, and then he got tricked and given to all of his powers.
Right, 99%, and he didn't know that he was a homicidal maniac.
Because he was just curious to see what a homicidal maniac would do with 1% of his ultimate power, because that's not going to backfire even at 1%.
Right. So what he did, he flipped the heroes and villains, right?
Yes.
And changed the world to his liking. That's the entire...
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, the explanation goes on for a while, and the heroes are still talking about, going to the JLA, and then we go back to Superman and Supergirl and Superboy, who are flying through a cloud of Batman villains for some reason.
Yeah, and Abraham Lincoln.
No, that's the Mad Hatter.
Oh, okay.
It's the Mad Hatter, Killer Croc, Two-Face, and Maxie Zeus.
Wait, on the page back, when they're going through his backstory, is that Alfred E. Newman?
I don't know who that is.
Alfred E. Newman's from Mad Magazine, but you mean Mitzelplick?
Well, Mitzelplick is looking at a TV in a black and white picture. In the top left, there's a kid with big ears.
I don't. You said on the page.
Oh, wow, it does look like Alfred E. Newman.
I don't.
You see it?
Yeah, I see him now. It's 3 pages back, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I do see it. Yeah, I do see it.
You read through that real quick and lost me when you started saying about Supergirl. I was waiting for you to finish so I could bring that up, and then I was like, wait, shit, he went too far. Okay.
But yeah, it definitely looks like Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine.
I know DC owns Mad Magazine, and they've been distributing new issues recently.
Well, it's only
I didn't even know that.
It's only one every year or something now, I think. I subscribed to Mad Magazine years ago. The best thing about Mad Magazine was their letters when I didn't pay. They were hilarious. They were harassing me. They were like, "Are you kidding me? You're not going to pay this week? What's wrong with you? I can't believe you'd walk in the store and steal something." It was insane. Their letters were better than the actual magazine.
That would be so much better to not pay then.
It was hilarious.
Letters.
When I got those letters, that was so funny. Me and my co-host on the other podcast, Jeff, used to talk about it every month. It's like, I got another letter from Mad Magazine.
Anyway, I saw that and I was like, I had to ask. So
now I got to find where we were because you made me go back 11 pages.
All right, well, Supergirl has wings.
Okay, yeah. Supergirl has wings. Did we lose TJ?
No, I'm here. I'm just waiting for you guys to catch up.
Supergirl has wings. Superboy is flying through Penguin's boogers, I think.
Yes.
Down the bottom. Yeah, okay.
And they're going to find Superman. And then we go to the Hole of Jerkos.
A Hole of Jerkos. Yeah, has anybody been to Great Adventure lately?
No.
They have a Hole of Justice set up. It looks amazing. The outside of the Hole of Justice looks like the Hole of
really?
Justice. Yeah, it's a ride, but we didn't get to ride the ride because it was closed because the pandemic was going on at the time. But the Hole of Justice outside, I got a picture of it. It looks great. It looks like the Hole of Justice outside.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's
That's
cool.
pretty neat.
So, after the heroes escaped Arkham, they apparently ran to the Hole of Jerkos. I'm not sure why. But this is the next 2 pages explain who these heroes are.
Well, because if you're looking for Jerkos, you go to Hole of Jerkos. That's where.
I suppose.
Yeah. So now it gets crazier. Because this is what he did to the heroes.
So, Aquaman is the son of a woman and a fish.
Right.
And he is like a fish man now.
Yeah, he didn't come out as a Aquaman. He looks more like a aquafish.
And he's determined to make sure that no one enjoys the water. No one can go into the water.
Right.
He's going to stop them. At the top of each of these explanations, it says Aquaman by Arthur Curry. Did you see that up there?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice that before, yeah.
Arthur Curry is Aquaman's real name.
Right.
Wonder Woman, I read a summary of it, and it says she's like a woman's right activist. But she's
a maid?
She's like a maid or a kitchen
housewife.
wife. Yeah.
She's making cakes and stuff. I don't know what's going on here.
Anyway, the housemaid of Mike continues her never-ending quest to commit crimes, star in a series of the Amazon Women Behind Bars movies, and bake cakes.
Yeah.
So that's her thing. And Wonder Woman's by Diana Prince, which is her real name.
Yeah.
The Flash by Barry Allen, which is... I guess Barry goes back by then.
One of the Flashes.
Yeah, well,
this
Barry...
is a fat Flash.
Yeah, Fat Flash. Barry died in Infinite Crisis, and Wally West took over for a long time.
Okay.
So I guess Barry's back by this time.
I guess.
But yeah, so he's on to eat all the food, I guess is his crime.
Yeah.
He's the fastest man alive to eat all the food, I guess.
He's the fastest fat man alive, it says on the bottom. Yeah.
The Flab.
Martian Manhunter by John Jones. John Jones is his name. He's a midget with a Napoleon complex.
Yeah, he's only 3 feet tall, and I don't know if you noticed this, but he is Marvin the Martian from Bugs Bunny.
I didn't get it until I looked at it right now.
Because it says, armed with plenty of uranium-235, which is what Marvin the Martian on Bugs Bunny had trying to blow up the planet Earth.
Okay. I guess that's what they were...
uranium-235. Yeah, that's what they were going for, no doubt.
I guess the Joker saw a lot of Bugs Bunny. Plastic Man by Eel O'Brien, which is his name, and he's a credit card, I guess?
He makes himself credit cards? I don't know what's going on
Yeah,
there.
he's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, running your good credit. Or ruining your good credit.
Yeah, so he steals that. And then we get The Green Lantern by Hal Jordan, and he's a magical yellow paper lantern.
That's stupid.
Who creates shadow puppets.
I thought the credit card one was bad. This one's even worse. I don't think he has a head.
Was worse.
No. For some reason, I thought this was Kyle Rayner, but apparently it's Hal Jordan.
Yeah, it says Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan is technically the second Green Lantern, but he's the first one to be a space cop.
Okay. So who's the first? The first Green Lantern?
What the hell's his name? He's a Justice Society of America guy. He has a magic lamp. His powers is based on magic, not a ring. Well, he had a ring, but it was more magic based in science base.
Was Hal Jordan a white guy?
Yeah.
Okay, I get them confused. So what was the black guy's name? What was his name?
That was actually the third Green Lantern. That's John Stewart.
John Stewart. I think he was my favorite one. That's why. But I always get them confused. They all have weird names.
Alan Scott. Was
the first.
Lantern.
Yep.
But he carried an actual lantern, right? That guy.
Yeah, he had. They all have lanterns to recharge their ring.
But didn't he carry the stinking lantern around with him? That guy.
Sometimes, but not always. But yeah, he was more of a World War II hero back in the Justice Society. Hal Jordan was technically the second, but that's when they go space cop. Right. Guy Gardner was the third, he was more of a rough and tumble rumbler kind of guy.
Yeah.
He was like a redhead white guy too. Jon Stewart's the third one.
The fourth, you mean?
Or the fourth one, yeah. Which is... He's the Black Architect guy.
Jon Stewart's the one I know from...
Justice League.
The Justice League cartoons. Yeah, I liked him the best. Well, I guess just because I've used him the most, but...
Right. Kyle Rayner he's more of an artist guy. He ends up becoming the White Lantern and stuff like that. And he was the last one, and up until the last few years, there's two new ones. There's a Muslim one. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. And then there's now a woman Green Lantern from Earth called Jessica Cruz, who's really cool, actually.
Oh, really?
Her backstory is really cool. She watched her friends get murdered in a forest one time, so she has anxiety about going outside. So she's crippled. She has crippling fear, and that's how she gets her ring, by overcoming it.
Oh, okay.
And then in Justice League Odyssey, which was a series that happened not too long ago, she actually went up against Darkseid.
Oh, wow. And
Darkseid murdered her.
Oh, that's not good.
But I mean, she came back, like, the next issue with super powers. But that scene where Darkseid murders Jessica Cruz is one of my favorite comics moments.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really good. Because Darkseid's talking about how Green Lanterns have all will, but are ultimately pointless. They have nothing else going for them. And then she punches him in the face and then he murders her.
Wow.
It's really good.
The Muslim Green Lantern, his name was Simon Baz.
Simon Baz. Yeah, his story actually started out kind of, they thought he was a terrorist, so they arrested him.
Oh, okay.
So, it was kind of a little bit, yeah, like, come on. Yeah, just because he's Muslim.
Right. I mean, well, when did it come out, too? That's the question. 2012.
It was.
Yeah, so, I mean, I see. They try to do something that's edgy and, like, within the times and stuff, so.
I don't think it was 2012, though. I think it was in the last few years.
But this said 2012.
Oh, it did. Really? On Wikipedia, it said 2012. I've seen it, Simon Baz.
Oh, wow. That's farther back than I thought.
Yeah, first appearance May 2012.
Well. But, yeah.
He's a Lebanese-American Muslim from Detroit suburb of Dearborn, Michigan.
Yeah, I actually... his run, him and Jessica Cruz end up as a team, and their run on Green Lantern, I really liked it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But, Green Lantern is hit and miss a lot of times, depending on which one you're reading. Hal Jordan's typically kind of boring until he's a bad guy.
Oh, okay.
You guys don't care about this Green Lantern.
Not at all. Zero.
No, I like the little history, but
I do. I like learning about it. I just, unfortunately, I probably won't.
I was doing another podcast with a friend of mine, and I had this same exact conversation.
Did you really?
About the Green Lanterns, yeah, because I was reviewing Captain America 1944, the serial.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
And the guy's name is something Gardner, and I was like, not to be mistaken with Guy Gardner. Then I went into the whole Green Lantern thing again. Which I want to bring the Captain America up when we get back to Batman. There's some comparisons I want to make.
Okay.
But we'll get to that when we get to that. Anyway, back to the comic. Superman, Lois, and a giant robot mix of Pixley and Steel are about to enter the jail, the Hall of Jerkos.
Yeah.
We cut back to the Joker, who's playing cards with 3 dead Robins at his table. Which is Nightwing, which is Dick Grayson. He looks like he's been bloated, like drowned or something.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he was drowned or something.
Tim Drake, which was the current Robin at this time, looks like he was shot to death.
Yeah, he's got bullet holes in him.
And this is before they brought him back to life, but that is, oh my god, Jason Todd, who was murdered by the Joker, so he just dug him up.
Now, was Jason Todd the one where, like, you could call in and vote for him to live or die?
Yes.
And they actually voted for him to die.
Why didn't anyone call in to save me?
People voted for him to die.
And then the Joker brutally murdered him with a crowbar.
Yeah.
Well, he beat him half to death with a crowbar and then blew him up. I'm sorry.
I mean, listen, it's what Batman always wanted.
Yeah, Batman's been trying to kill him since the beginning. If you want to hear about that, you can go back and listen to our first 2 seasons.
No, you're wrong. He's been trying to kill Dick Grayson.
Oh, it's true. It is true. Dick Grayson is who he's trying to kill.
He's trying to kill, which is Nightwing right here in the middle, right? Bloated Nightwing?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Nightwing didn't die, did he?
No.
Right. So why is he a free dead Robin?
It's just in this world.
Yeah, because Joker decided to kill all the Robins.
Right.
So okay. I'll explain it now. So Batman in this world, Joker has devised that Batman gets tortured in very vicious ways.
Okay.
Every day. So he tortures Batman and kills him every day. So it's so bad that by the end of it, Batman is so scarred they have to erase his memory of everything happening.
Oh, wow.
So don't mess with the Joker.
Yeah, apparently.
So after, Joker's just being the Joker playing cards with dead Robins, we cut back to the Hall of Jokers where the hero villains attack Superman.
Yeah.
And there's a big fight scene.
And Martian Manhunter looks like the Hulk in the bottom there.
Oh, yeah, he does a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's just like 3 pages of them fighting.
Right.
And then Superboy and Supergirl show up, and Superman tries to stop the roof from falling on top of everybody. And the villains the hero villains are surprised that he's trying to save them.
Yeah, that actually is the turn a little bit, is when they realize he's trying to save them.
Yeah. And then we cut back. Alright, so here's some more history. So, we're in space, and Darkseid's trying to talk to the Quintesson. It's hard to speak their name. Anyway, the Quintesson is Ganthan, Shazam, Hive Father, Zeus, and Phantom
the Quintessence.
Yeah, the Quintessence. Ganthan is the Green Lantern's, their boss, essentially.
Okay.
Shazam is the wizard that gives Captain Marvel Shazam his powers. Highfather is the leader of the new gods and Darkseid's brother. Zeus is the Greek god of Zeus. And the Phantom Stranger, depending on what continuity you're working for, he's either some mysterious wanderer working for God, or he's Judas Iscariot. It depends on what continuity you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
So, but anyway, these are the most powerful people in the universe, and their job is to kind of look over the universe and everything else like that. Pretty much keep balance and stuff.
So the most powerful guys in the universe, Darkseid shows up and they all go, "What's up?"
What?
They're now a Budweiser commercial.
Yes, because that doesn't date this comic at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
But Darkseid shows up because he believes that Joker has the anti-life equation, which is Darkseid's entire story. He's always searching for that anti-life equation.
Right.
But yeah, you said they all say, "What's up?" and Darkseid's surprised, and then Joker shows up and as a giant baby
with an umbilical cord hanging from.
Right. And eventually sways Darkseid under his powers.
And I gotta look at Joker's butt, just so you know.
Yes.
Why do you have to look at his butt?
It's right there, in my face.
You don't have to look.
Well, you tricked me into looking. Joker tricked me into looking at his butt. So what does Darkseid say here? I'm watching your game and drinking suds?
Yeah, like, what's up? It's like a football bro kind of guy like the other ones now.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, they're a Budweiser commercial from the early 2000s.
Right.
It's probably mid-90s, actually.
It might be. I don't even remember when it was, but I remember it was that stupid commercial from a Super Bowl.
It's whenever the Dudley Boys started wrestling, because they used to say that when they jumped off the top rope.
No, don't do that to Heath. Get Adam Rose in there.
And headbutted people in their privates.
Oh my God, the Dudley Boys. I haven't. Yeah, that was so long ago.
Oh, man. So anyway, Superman's being Superman, trying to convince these new heroes that they were actually heroes.
Yeah.
And that they can all work together.
This is where I hate his face, by the way. He's got a giant head and a little face, and it looks really stupid.
It's really bad.
I don't like the way they drew his face in that part at all. I understand they always give them, like, the big chin, but his mouth and his eyes look too small for his head.
I'm not impressed, to be honest. If you told me to read this, it'll get you into reading these comics, I'm out.
I think you're right, though. Yeah. I think they purposely drew the heroes worse than the villains.
Yeah.
So, you know what? You keep bringing up Spawn, and I kept reading just because I hate myself.
Basically.
And I got to the issue where he's having a dream, and they're talking about how all the superheroes are, in prison by DC Comics. It was one of those, they're captured by the brand and not by the writers. It was so preachy and annoying.
Oh, I don't even remember that one.
I don't even remember that either. I don't know if I got to that one, I guess.
I'm sure I read it, but...
It has, like, the warthog with that smokes in it.
Wow. You got pretty far.
It's only 9 issues in.
Okay. Listen, I'm on 50 whatever. I only went back and read the first 2 because we did them as a hiatus episode.
I haven't read since we reviewed it, so I was trying to read this one. So I'm probably like right before that or something.
Yeah, I really hated it. They kept talking about the first superhero, Superman, how he's captured, and
oh wow,
it's just like, you know, we own all of our characters. It was very stupid and preachy, and
they were talking about it like in continuity of the comic.
They showed Superman essentially.
Really? Wow, I don't remember that at all.
And they have all the hands of like Wolverine's hand and Hulk's hand out and inside behind prison cells, all out and stuff like that. It really, really bothered me.
Well, they were totally. They were totally anti-establishment at the time until they started making money again, you know.
But they kept referencing, like, the first superhero, Superman, and how he's captured, and no one...
I didn't remember that at all.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I hated it.
I'm going to have to go back and look at it.
I'm going to go read that one after this, because I'm curious about it now.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway,
this becomes a PSA.
Well, no, it's Superman being Superman. He talks to them, and they all realize who they are. And except for the people with Superman, Superboy, Supergirl, Lois, and Steel.
I hate to tell you this, Superman is a walking PSA. He's always about
I learned that quick on here, that is what the Superman comics are. So.
Yeah, well, no, Superman himself is. He's always trying to give you the right... Well, not always.
Well, but most of his stuff is based on him being a good person.
I just reviewed Superman... versus the Mole Man, the pilot for the Adventures of Superman 1950 show.
Oh, wow.
And it was pretty much an allegory for racism, as the people weren't understanding the Mole Man and trying to kill him, and Superman was trying to stop it.
Well, there's a lot of it. If you look back, you don't know, like, they're not doing it on purpose, and it happens, you know.
The lead guy in this was, like, he shot Superman, like, 6 times. He didn't know who Superman was. Superman wasn't known. Just emptied a gun into him. Almost killed Lois with a gun. They were talking about lynching this Mole Man who was shot in a hospital at a time.
Sounds like a product of the times.
Yeah, it really was. But my point is, Superman has always been this, you know.
I probably won't ever read Superman.
You're reading Superman now.
And I'll never read it again.
Till we pick it next year.
We should probably cover Action Comics at some point, the first one.
Yeah.
Anyway, the hero villains aren't convinced by Superman's thing because they're not sure, because he's not sure if he can win or not, and they're like, we'll think about it, and that gives Clark hope.
Right.
Back to the Joker, and Lex is like, you idiot, you gave them what they needed, hope to survive, so Joker shoots him.
Yep.
And look, Lex Luthor is apparently dead. And this isn't the beginning of the end, this is the end of the beginning. And that's that.
Yeah. It is a crazy comic book. I mean, in continuity, it's probably okay. By itself, standalone, it is nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I think you really do need to read it from the beginning to really appreciate it.
Yeah, like you said, if I was reading those comics and got to that, I probably would have been fine. But to pick it up, I was like, what in the hell? And it's made to confuse you, and I get it, but it really threw me off. I was going.
I think that's a compliment, though.
It is. You're right, though. It is, because they did what they were trying to get. You know,
right?
It still sucked. It was terrible.
Yeah, I liked Spawn much better. So.
Well, Spawn sucks. I hate Spawn so much that I'm still ranting about it.
Spawn was way better.
I don't think it was.
That was terrible. Spawn was good.
Mm-hmm.
It is good.
Nope. The Joker will always be better than Spawn.
Superman, though, is not.
Yes, Superman is way better than Spawn.
Superman is terrible, and I will not.
I like them both. I like them both.
I do not.
You cannot judge Superman. You've never read his stuff. You read one comic.
I just read his comic.
You read one comic.
I just read his comic. You said it. I said that. You said, well, you're reading Superman right now. So, that being said, Superman sucks.
You're reading a Superman comic based on a Batman villain, though. So you can't really judge. You didn't even know who Lex Luthor was.
I still don't know who Lex Luthor is, and he's dead. So,
well, he's not dead. He comes back to life.
In my comics, he's dead because I only read one comic, and he's dead. Joker just killed him. That's all I know is Lex Luthor. I seriously though, it's hard for me to even review this because I don't know anybody in this comic at all. I know no one.
Well, I gave you a history lesson.
You did, and I learned a lot. I just mean, I know Harley and the Joker, and Two-Face did show up for a second as a little guy that Harley Quinn was carrying around by his jacket.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
The point wasn't for you to like it. The point was you to bring up the Joker eats China.
Yeah, and he did. He did eat all of China.
He did definitely eat all of China
with chopsticks.
And that was the point of this review.
Yes.
Anything else?
I don't know. You want to hear a Joker joke?
I thought the joke was this comic. I thought.
I mean, the Joker would probably take that as a compliment. So, I mean, I guess if there's nothing else to say, then yeah, go ahead. Tell us your Joker joke.
All right. Listen, I did not do any research. I found a Joker joke and went for it. So here we go. Jason Todd walks into a bar where the Joker is behind the counter. He says, "Jason, you know I can't serve Robin's here." Jason asks why, and the Joker replies, "This is a crowbar." Then he beats him to death.
And that's how he killed him, right? With a crowbar.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
That is awesome. I like that one. That was good.
This was the first joke that popped up when I looked for Joker jokes, and I said, "This is it. This is the one I'm going with."
To be fair, it's been one of your better ones.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Everybody laughed at that one. That's the first. Everybody laughed at that one.
I was getting ready to groan, honestly.
Yeah, I caught you off guard a little bit.
Uh-huh.
All right, time for bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Bye. TJ here from Comics and Us, just here to plug the social media. Check us out on Twitter. Our handle is @EveryTNUs because someone took everything and us, but the name of the Twitter page is Everything and Us Podcast, and then the handle is @EveryTNUs. You can also check us out on Instagram, which is also Everything and Us. These all encapsulate all the podcasts that I do, but you're going to find all your updates for Comics and Us, Anime and Us, so forth and so forth. You can also contact us right now at everythinginUspodcasts@gmail.com. Still working on the website. And until then, that's where you can get a hold of us. That's all. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later. Bye.